For years and years, Canadians have been complaining about one-sided news. They say all the news is either big L liberal or small L liberal, and there are no other viewpoints. So, let's ask an expert. Adrienne Batra is the editor of The Sun. She joins me right now, and I put the question to you. Adrienne, is Canadian press one-sided?
Yes and no. And I think that what we...
Oh, no, that's a one-sided answer.
The challenge the Canadian media market has is CBC is funded to the tune of over $1 billion of taxpayers' money. So when Post Media, who owns the Toronto Sun and the National Post, or even the Globe and Mail, and other private media like Bell, CTV, when we're competing with that. Yet, when you go to a scrum, you see the Prime Minister being scrummed or a cabinet minister or whatever. You have 8 CBC reporters, 1 person from the Globe, 1 person from the Post, 1 person from the Sun. So there's a domination of the narrative that comes from a particular bent of the news, of the media market. And that's where I think people perceive it as skewed. I would push back on that a bit. I think certainly from the Toronto Sun's perspective, from the National Post perspective, and many other outlets, talk radio, there is a desire to hear the other side. So
but that's hearing, though. But if you're only reading, for instance, if you're reading the newspapers, yes, Sun and the Post, different. But all the other ones just seem to be a big melt in there.
Well, I think that they could defend sort of their own editorial position and how they want to position, how they position themselves. But what I think is often happening is they're forgetting about the audience. They're forgetting about who their readership is, and it's not monochromatic, and it's not all left-wing liberal. It's not all downtown Toronto. And I think that there is a massive market and big opportunity for other voices to sort of pierce through that. Well, that's why social media is so significant.
Let's talk about the convoy.
Yeah.
I mean, the convoy was, I've always said, ordinary, normal people just really, really cheesed off with government, not just vaccines. And yet, to read most of the newspapers, but for yours, there was all a bunch of Nazi-loving communists.
Yeah, and that was
very unfair, and not true.
Grossly unfair. And, I think one of the things I pride myself on is we certainly had those that were very much the pro-trucker, pro-them. And then the other side, also, we brought in both angles. But a lot of news outlets don't do that. They just are one-sided. But I think the truckers had their own public relations issues. I don't think we need to relitigate all of that. But I think that when the portrayal of them with one stupid, idiotic guy carrying that flag, it just it eclipsed the narrative of what I think a lot of Canadians were frustrated with.
You're absolutely right. Adrienne Batra, Toronto Sun, 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Okay. As you can tell from what you just heard and saw, there are a lot of issues that have to be decided in Canada, and we need independent analysis of them. So, help us stay on the air. Subscribe, tell your friends, PayPal, and thanks for watching.